What is good, family? This is your girl. I am Courtney Michelle, and I am back with another live. Y'all know it has been a long time since your girl been on YouTube, and it's for reasons that I chose. But I'm back, and I wanted to talk about a movie. I did something a couple days ago, which was very impromptu, and then it was, have y'all seen the movie Leave the World Behind? I watched it, had to watch it 2 times because it was intriguing, interesting. I didn't know if I liked it or if I didn't. So I watched it again. I saw some nuggets and some gems and some jewels. And I was like, I didn't catch that the first time. So today we are going to have the discussion about Leave the World Behind. I think it's so important to discuss. I think there's a lot of meaning to the movie. And there's some stuff that I saw that maybe you didn't see. And I want to bring it to your attention and talk about that. Before I do have two gentlemen right now that I'm about to bring up who's near and dear to me. First, we're going to bring up my homie, Jock. And Jock, if you can, tell them about yourself, your page.
Oh
What's
yeah.
poppin', young Jock?
Hey man, what's up? What's up? Appreciate that court. Man, I'm Jock, man. I on these YouTube streets. I've been on these YouTube streets for a while, man. I got my podcast, Cool Movie Reviews, which I'm like you, Courtney. I done kind of got off of YouTube. It's been a while, so I'm kind of getting
Mm-hmm.
back in the swing of things. And then we got our Tennessee Titans weekly podcast with my gracious co-host, your brother, Mr. Hawk. You know how it goes. So yeah, man, Courtney, I appreciate you. You actually getting me out of I say funk because I haven't
Mm-hmm.
really reviewed anything lately. So this is
Mm-hmm.
gonna be refreshing to kind
Okay,
of get
so
this out.
I'm
Yeah.
getting your
Yeah,
mojo back.
right. You give me my exactly. Life been lifing, man. Life has been lifing.
These are facts. Okay. Well, since you brought him up, I guess I can bring up the other half of the Tennessee Titans Weekly, which is also my big brother. What's up, young Hawk?
What's good? What's happening, folks? What's up? What's happening, y'all? Hey,
How are you doing? Tell them
man,
about you a
I'm,
little bit. Your page, Tennessee
yeah,
Titan Weekly. What do y'all
absolutely,
do?
man. Look, we do it all. For those that love the NFL, you don't have to just say be a Titans fan. If you like the NFL, man, hey, we got one of the most popular podcasts out there. Me and my boy Jacques, the guy that's right there, that's my co-host, man. We've been doing it for years. Not only are we on YouTube, we're on Bleacher Report. So if you check out Bleacher Report, man, you want to check out the Titans. We are the official Bleacher Report podcast for the NFL for the Tennessee Titans. Shout out to my sister there. I am Courtney Michelle doing her thing. My boy Jacques, you know what I'm saying? And the music that y'all hear the intro music. So my other YouTube page is Cold Low Beats. So if you're in the soul sampling bangers, and you can hear the bang when you play it in your car, you hear that thump. I make the beat. You know what I'm saying? So like hundreds of beats online. You can check it out at Cold Low Beats. Hey, that's what I love to do. The name of that beat is called Life Experiences. So that's a perfect name for things. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I'm very
And
excited to talk about this
in my
movie.
description, I have your page on there in my description. So for anyone that likes the beats and the music I play, intro and outro, that is my big brother, and you can subscribe, get beats, listen
Hey,
to his soulful music
I'm
on
using
his page.
I use one of his beats also for my intro on my movie channel. So
Yes, sir.
like he said, man, if
It
and
is
like
fire.
Court said, he got some cool little beats. Y'all go check him out.
Yeah.
Appreciate it, man. Thank you.
All right.
So
So let's talk about Leave the World Behind. And I'll give a quick synopsis of it. It's about a couple that decided to go on a family trip and rented out a house, and everything seemingly was going well until they hit up the beach. They hit up the beach. They saw a big old ship come through, and then all hell starts breaking loose. And with that, they found another couple who actually owned a house. It was a father and his daughter came in, and then again, a lot of stuff started happening, and I want to talk about some of that stuff. So, Jock, tell me what you thought about the movie, and what do you think the meaning of Leave the World Behind is?
So just real quick, I didn't know what it was at first until I was on Facebook and everybody's talking about this movie, Leave the World Behind, Leave the World Behind. I'm like, okay, let me go check it out. First, I want to say it is shot very well from a movie perspective of how they capture different things when it comes to suspense and everything like that. But it really was a surprising movie when it really comes to the point of being prepared, and what is actually going on in today's society with cyber attacks, World War III's looming in the background, racism, right? Classism, anything, prejudice, all this is captured in this one about 2 hour movie
Mm-hmm.
that you're really trying to digest, because it is a slow burn. Like, it's not a lot of action, it's not a lot. It's just real lot of dialogue heavy, but you really got to pay attention. So I really, really appreciate that from this particular piece of the movie. From an acting perspective, of course, you got Mahershala Ali, Julia Roberts, Ethan Hawke. I think Kevin Bacon is. You got some heavy
Mm-hmm.
hitters in this particular movie, and of course, it was produced by. I think they're either producers or direct. I think produced by the Obamas, and that's another kind of scary but eye-opening thing when you hear an ex-president bring attention to a movie like this. It's like, what are you telling us? And it
Yeah.
tells you about, are we really prepared for what is to come in this next phase of reality and world?
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna get to the Obamas because I found that's interesting, and it has a lot of people saying a lot of stuff, and it's giving like the side eye. Like, wait a minute now, is this a warning? So, anyways, Young Hulk, what do you think? You want me to call you? What you want me to call you today?
Whatever,
Big
whatever,
brother.
whatever you feel. Hey, Young Hawk is cool. Whatever. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter,
Okay.
man.
Well, what do you think
Okay.
about the movie and the meaning?
So I think the meaning of this is really showing the impact of technology, right, in our society, right? Where in the whisk of a second, everything shuts down, we're in trouble. And some
Mm-hmm.
people in their entire life hasn't all none of us have been around without technology, but younger generation, they really feed on it to where they don't even pay attention, right? They just focus on their phone and things of that nature. But it changes on how we even interact as people, without technology. So it showed me that not only did it impact, airplanes and cars, it impacted animals. I'm like, what the hell are deer? What's going on? Right? It impacted everything. And so
Mm-hmm.
even when you look at certain things happening, it's kind of like, well, when they shut off the satellites and things like that, it's kind of like you're sitting there like, okay, what should we do? So at the end of the day, you have to look at depending on each other. So the family themselves had to literally depend on each other for survival, literally, even though they didn't know each other, they had to depend on each
Mm-hmm.
other and trust each other. There was a lot of different things in this movie, as you mentioned earlier, from racism, classes, all that, Jacques. You're right. So all of that's a part of it. But they had to kind of shed that to the side and be like, man, what's going on, bro? What the hell's going on, right? So I was just kind of thinking, like, man, realizing what the world would be like without technology, and the fact that if a country wanted to go to war with America or any country, you shut off their resource and look what happens. You didn't even got to fight. Let them fight themselves by shutting stuff
Mm-hmm.
off. So I think that's what
Right.
I saw more than anything is self-destruction. Like the old song says, self-destruction. You're headed for self. That's what I felt in this movie. You know what I mean? So,
Hmm.
yep.
That's interesting. I like
Yep.
that. There's a comment I thought was interesting right here. The deer was a dead giveaway, like the movie Get Out. Deer is fear.
Yeah.
And also, I think the deer kind of represents when they say a deer in headlights,
Mm-hmm.
meaning that you're in shock about what's going on and you feel helpless and you can't do anything. And I think with Leave the World Behind, what it is that you dealt with, like you said, racism, classism, but a lot of the bigotry that you might have towards one another. Does that make any difference when your whole entire world now is crumbling down? And at the end of the day, it's you need each other. They wouldn't have survived, or if they did survive, who knows? But they both needed each other, both families.
Yep.
So yeah.
Yep.
Um, Speaking about the deers and the fear, I was trying to kind of debate as far as within the movie who is the antagonist and who's the protagonist. Who is the hero and who is the villain?
That's a great question.
That is. You know who I think the hero was in this movie? So I learned something in this movie.
Okay.
So all three of us have young daughters, right? Young,
Right.
all the same age, right? Zoe and
Mm-hmm.
Lauren, they, hey, cousins, we here, right?
Right.
Man, pay attention to your children.
Yep.
The hero to me was Rose. Rose was trying to tell him, look, bro, hey, there's deer outside, dog. Brother's like, man, go shut your stupid ass down or whatever. The other people like, mom and dad paid her no
No
attention.
attention.
Rose was on game the entire movie. Hey, bro,
Mm-hmm.
we got deer, we got things going on out here. That house that's up there, there's something going on up there. And the brother Archie was like, man, come on, come on. So the entire time I felt Rose was really trying to put them on game, like, hey, there's something going on here, y'all. You need to pay
Mm-hmm.
attention. They never trusted. Then it's like, they sort of let them on their own. I'm like, keep your eye on your children. Why do you have them running? And what's happened? Archie gets a tick bite, and he's sitting there pulling out his teeth. I was like, bro, stop pulling out your teeth. Stop. I didn't know what was wrong with him. I was like, can you
He
stop?
just kept, I was
I
like,
was like,
chill.
no, what's going on? But he got the worst case of cavities ever. That's what I thought initially. I said, but he realized that's what it was. But Rose was the hero. She was the brave one. Everyone else was like 2 steps behind. You know what I mean? So pay attention to your young children because they're
Mm-hmm.
unbiased, right? They might
Mm-hmm.
see things while we're sitting there thinking overall, their eyes is focused on something. So I think she's the hero. Now, you had another question to that, Courtney? Or, Jacques, if you want to
Who's the
answer the
villain?
hero.
So yeah, I agree. I agree with the Rose statement, Hawk. It literally when she's seeing the ship come in, like you said, kids pay attention to the simple things, right? We
Mm-hmm.
overcomplicate things as adults. And she's like, guys, that ship keeps getting closer and closer and closer and closer. And if you pay attention to the part in the movie, she talks about the deer and she's like, hey, that's the house that we need to go to. I think that's where we need to go. And again, she did the right thing. She found what everybody else is trying to get to, right? Safety, shelter, everything. So no, I agree. Rose is the MVP. She is the hero in this particular movie.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm going to have to agree too. I do think it's Rose. I think from the get go, she understood there was stuff going on. And even when the scene where all the Teslas was kind of crashing, before they even saw it, she was kind of up. And, her mom was like, I thought you was asleep. And she said, I can't go to sleep. I hear sirens. And no one paid attention to that. She said, I hear sirens. And then they finally stopped and was like, oh, I do hear sirens. And then a minute later, you saw all the Teslas all, crashing into each other. So I think she's represented even the animals of having an idea or a feeling. And I think it's an innocence about them of all they know. They have a feeling, they have an inkling. So for sure, listen to your children. Don't dismiss them because they're young. They are still people and they have a lot of insight that sometimes we forgo because we have so much going on in the world. Like animals, they'll tell you if you have a dog can sense when there's danger. And I think those animals were sensing and going crazy with the flamingos in the pool. And it was like, this ain't normal, especially having flamingos in the pool and they in New York.
Right, correct.
Right.
So we talk about fear the deer. Can somebody explain that? Because I was like, why are flamingos in a swimming pool?
Mm-hmm.
Why are flamingos? What could that represent?
Right.
Yep. Right.
Flamingos in New York. I guess they went from the beach to there, but in the pool.
Right.
That's weird. Yeah.
Maybe the high pitch sounds that they were hearing, where they were saying more of the radiation issues, right? And it's messing with the migration of the animals. So when the animals are migrating, right, and you hearing that high pitched sound, all of a sudden they migrating here, and even if you look at the deer, how they were moving and everything. So I think that pitch or whatever that sound was having something to do with the animals. Like it's crazy.
Yeah. All right. And shout out to Chaotic Truth. I see you. I appreciate you for the love. He said the deer are hurting the humans.
Shout out Chaotic. Boom.
Okay.
Shout out to you.
That's what's up. That's interesting. All right. So we got who got the MVP. Who is the villain? Now think about it now. Who is the villain?
Because who is the villain?
Mm-hmm.
I was thinking Amanda, which is the mom.
Yeah, she was high strung, very annoying.
Yes.
Let me tell you
But
one
also,
part that she got on my nerves. She kept asking her husband, "What's going on? What we were supposed to do?" He's like,
ooh,
"Lady, I don't know." But she
Mm,
kept on. But what are you
yeah.
supposed to do? Where is Rose? I thought,
mhm,
where's she at? I don't know, lady. Like she
yep,
was annoying,
yep,
Yep.
being
but I don't
prejudiced.
know if she's the
Yeah.
villain.
Racist as hell.
Now, now you got
Yeah,
Ruth too. You got
Yep.
Ruth.
yeah.
Eh,
Ruth had a lot of her moments.
Yep.
That was said Julia
Yep.
Roberts, but I
Yep.
don't know.
Yep. You know who I think might be the antagonist in this movie? I might say GH, y'all. I might say
I was
George.
going to say that.
Cause
I'm
he
gonna say
knew.
this. He knew none of them knew
Hmm.
anything. None of them.
Hmm.
They was as you know, like as clueless as Stacey Dash, right? That's the movie she played in, right? Okay. So GH to me was the one that was he knew a little bit more. I'm not saying he could have prepared them and things of that nature on things, but the information he shared with Amanda, get a round table, talk to everybody like that. We're in a crisis. Like, hey, y'all, this is the situation. This might be going on. We need to be prepared. So I think sometimes the person that knows the most that don't show is the one that's the one you got to look out for. If his lip zip
Hmm.
is kind of like, bro, I didn't know you knew that. Like, be honest. Who are you hiding this from? We need you. This is our lives you're playing with. So I actually
Yeah.
think it's GH.
I'm gonna
And
add to that.
and what if he'd have killed Danny in the gunfight? Then
I'm.
Hmm.
the son Archie, if he'd have killed him, I mean, where's the medicine? I mean, I don't know. I don't know. He was kind of
I'm.
volatile, if you ask me.
I'm gonna add to that, Hulk. I can actually get on board with that because of the fact not only did he know, did he mention that there was a bunker somewhere around there that
Hmm.
yes, he mentioned a bunker. He kind of knew. He said, okay, my neighbor has a satellite phone. Okay, damn, you got a satellite phone.
That's right, brother.
Talking about a bunker, but he was distracted with just everything, and also he wasn't prepared to have all that money. My guy, you was not prepared at
That's
all,
right. That's right.
right? And so
Hmm.
when I'm listening to this, I'm like, okay, as you say that, Hulk, you onto
Yeah.
something with it.
Because then when the movie
I would say
started,
he's the villain.
yeah, when the movie started, I was kind of thinking it was gonna be a horror movie. I was like, GH is
Yeah, I
the new
did too.
Freddy Krueger, ain't it? Like, or, I was,
Yep.
or something. I was like, see, it's my daughter was going, she was watching the movie, and then when it started and some eerie things started happening between him and his daughter when they went downstairs in the basement, it was like, no, they ain't. There's something wrong with him. I was like, oh, this must
Hmm.
be a horror movie. And I was
Hmm.
like,
Hulk,
yeah,
I
and
thought
then
that
it just
too.
flipped. But yeah,
Yeah, I
GH
thought.
might be the dude.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought that too. It
Yeah.
it, it gave me. I forgot what it almost gave me the first Purge vibes when they family
Hmm.
knocked on the door and they rung
Hmm.
the doorbell
Yep.
and when him and Ruth came to the door, I was like, I'm like you, Hawk. I'm like, this is kind of creepy a little bit. They done came and now they
Yep.
introducing themselves and you don't really know if they're telling the truth.
Right.
Everything's not working. Everything's down at that point, so I can't verify if he is the owner of the house, right?
Yep.
So only
Hmm.
way he had to prove it was the keys. Like I got my keys, see, I can get in here and do
And he
this.
was having a hard time opening it up too, because
He
I was
was.
like, "Go and get the key."
Yep. And he
But
didn't have his wallet.
before we go on, I'm going to ask someone else. We have the Clue channel, and he was really the one that kind of had me wanting to do this live. So I want to invite you and welcome you to the panel. So what is going on with the Clue?
What's going on, everybody? Courtney,
What's happening?
Michelle, guys,
What's going
Jock,
on, Jay?
Sir. Yes,
Hawk.
sir. Salute.
What's happening?
Yeah,
Salute.
man.
So
Yeah, that was
tell
a
me
good
your
movie.
thoughts about the movie. We kind of gave our synopsis, and we're going over who do you think is the villain and who do you think would be the MVP of the movie.
Well, the villain, I don't think was in the movie because
Hmm.
the villain, it's hard because I think it was Jock that brought up that maybe GH is the villain,
Yeah.
possibly,
Yeah, that
but
was me.
no, I think the villain was never mentioned in the movie, or
Who
he was
would be the
mentioned in the
villain
movie. Well, whoever blocked all the satellites and all that, I think that's the villain. Whoever blocked the satellites and shut off the internet, hacked into the internet, I think that's the villain. I don't think any of the people that we saw in the movie were the villain. But then
then?
when Jacques brings up GH may be the villain, I'm changing my mind a little bit because he knew Remember that conversation he had? The conversation he had about his client that likes to joke about yeah, you can go you, I'm gonna go back to my elites and my villains and all that. Remember that conversation that GH had with
Um,
Amanda?
I y'all
Yes.
remember that? I
Yeah.
Yeah,
don't know.
yeah,
Yeah.
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 That's
Yeah.
what
Yeah.
I was
Okay.
speaking. That's what I was speaking
Yeah.
earlier. I was
He
like,
knew
share that to
everything.
everybody, right?
Mhm.
So
Okay.
I'm kind of changing my mind on maybe GH might be the villain because he knew all of this stuff beforehand.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I think he knew. He kind of got caught up in the lie. You remember at the very beginning when he
Yeah,
came to their house and
right.
he said, it was a blackout and I was going to my car and it blacked out and it felt so comfortable for me to drive here because I didn't want to go to my home. And it was, and then, Ruth was like, it's 16 stories and he wants to do that. But he said
Right.
the blackout happened when he was in the car. Then when he got over there and trying to get she asked for his ID. He said, "Oh, I must have left because I was rushing out of the venue that he was in because of the blackout." So he got caught up in a lie.
Yeah.
So
I don't know if y'all
it's
caught.
something going on with GH, man.
He got caught up in a lie.
And remember that conversation? I think it was the first night that GH and I think it was Ruth, his daughter,
Mm-hmm.
was in the basement.
Mm-hmm.
Ruth said, "We got to get them up out of here," and then
Mm.
GH said, "We can't do it with fear."
He did say
So
that.
Yeah.
so GH wanted them up out of that house too.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
GH knows something, and I want to thank Jock for
GH
bringing that
knows
to my.
something.
He know he
Well,
knows a little
credit
too
to
much.
Hulk. Yeah,
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 that was credit
yeah,
Hulk.
That was Hawk.
Yeah, Hulk.
yeah,
Yeah, that was
yeah.
Hulk. Hulk brought that
Okay,
up.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
shout out
yeah.
to Hawk for that because
All
I
right.
was thinking there was no villain, but
Yeah.
now I think GH is not such a good guy.
Yeah. All right. So it was broke
and he
down
almost
in
boned. He
sections.
almost boned dude's wife.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
did.
Go ahead. Dude
yeah.
was
You
It was
know.
that
dude
they
was
were dancing
wild.
to that next
Yeah.
song.
Exactly.
Well,
He was
if
singing. I
if
was
you,
like, "Damn, brother," you know what I'm saying? Yeah.
but
You
the
know when that
opposite
Got
part
it
was
goes.
like,
in.
"I feel a bump coming through," and he looked at her like, "You hear what he just said?" I'm like, "Damn, bro."
So
Oh man. Go
yeah,
ahead, Corey.
okay,
I'm sorry,
but
man.
let's not forget Ruth while
Yep.
she's out there with the daddy up there
Mhm.
Yep.
smoking and drinking.
Yep.
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 Yeah,
Yep.
That
She
was
was offering it
that
on the
was
platter.
I got a
that was
problem with that
wild.
scene. I
What
have
was
a
your
problem with
problem with it?
my problem with that scene is she just automatically announced to her father that he's a pedo
Did she
based
say
on that
that?
conversation. Yeah,
I don't think
Well,
she
see,
said. I
the,
don't think she said that. She said, I can tell you right now that they want to f me.
Right.
That's what she said. She said, I can tell you right now they want to f me, which
but they
is
were both
true.
high.
Mhm.
Both of them were high. Both of them were high on weed.
Well, that son wasn't high. I was taking pictures of her while she was laying out sunbathing.
The
That's
Right.
right.
son was
The
being
hormones
the
were going.
son was being
The
a
hormones
kid.
was going.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah. He was
The
in his
son was
bed.
being a
He was in his
kid.
bed doing
Yep.
this too. I said, "Whoa,
Yep. He
Right,
sure
right.
whoa."
was.
He was
Yeah.
having a good
Yeah.
time in his bed
Yep.
looking at
Yeah.
her.
Yep.
Calm down.
Yep.
The world is going to an end, but you do not care.
Hey, the world's coming to an end. She may be the
He said, "I gotta
last
get one off."
Yep. Get
girl
Going
one
I
out
off
with a
get.
before it's all
bang.
I got to
done.
do something.
All right.
Yeah.
So y'all see right here, there was that 5 different chapters in it. And so the first chapter, of course, was the house. And so the beginning, it talked about, how they explored the house. Now, I saw a lot of symbolism as far as in the house, and one was the colors. Did anyone see a lot of blue in the movie?
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. Especially
Meaning
when
that when they
es-
were,
Yeah.
I'm gonna get to
Okay.
that right here. But when they were at the beach, everyone has blue. She always wore blue. He always wore blue. If you notice again, all the cars was blue. All the signage was
Mhm.
blue. The walls were blue.
Mhm.
It had a very powerful blue color.
And then the blue sign, the blue emergency sign on the screen.
Yeah, the blue
Yep.
emergency sign.
Their
What do
house
you
before they
think
left was
blue
blue.
could have meant?
Jacques is hell of a point too. The house they left was blue. Yep.
It's
I
all
don't
Mhm.
blue.
know, Corn. That's a
Yeah.
good.
It's all
That's a good
blue.
point. Yeah, it's a good point.
What does the blue represent? If you noticed it.
That's a tough one. Yep, that's a tough one.
Yeah.
Someone said blue
I mean,
provides
Obama was a part of this
protection.
movie, so I don't know if he's just trying to shout out, being a Democrat or something. I don't know.
See that that's
It's
I
a
don't know. It's
possibility.
probably a deeper meaning with the blue.
when we
Democrat
talk
would be
about
Or
when
somebody
we
just
talk
said the same thing. Exactly. That's what I just said. So I don't know.
vote.
Maybe that's what it is. I don't know. But
Yeah.
Huh.
yeah.
that's another thing I want to talk
So
about.
Ryan put in the chat complacency, the blue pill, calm, the calm before the storm. Maybe I don't know.
Hmm.
Yeah. Or an idea of every time it was blue, the blue represented something safe. So being at home was blue. When they looked at their media in the TV, if you saw when they was watching the TV, it had a blue shine to it. So it was comfort
Yeah.
having some kind of electronic, entertainment blue. So it just felt like blue had something of safety.
Is
And
it
it
almost
could
like a
be
distract?
democratic.
Could it be like a distracting color too, with it being a calm color? Being so calm to kind of distract you from what
Yep.
is coming, right?
Yep,
What's
that's a
coming?
good point. That's a good point.
That's a good point, John.
Just a
Yeah, it
thought.
is. Facts,
John
no
been
paper.
reading today.
One
That
one
is
thing
true.
before you go on, one thing I wanted to point out about the animals. I think the animals were there to warn them. I think the animals knew
Mm-hmm.
beforehand that something was off,
Mhm.
and
Okay.
they came. Remember the scene with Amanda and Ruth at that little outhouse thing, and all of the deer, hundreds of deer, were just looking at them, just looking at 'em?
Yeah.
Right.
I think that's the opposite of what happened in the first Avatar. Remember when the Avatar people and the animals
Oh,
united
the
to
movie.
fight? Yeah,
Yeah.
I think that's the opposite. The animals were actually trying to unite with the humans. Something's
You
going
think?
on here. Let's unite. Something's going on here, and the humans didn't understand what the animals were, what the deer were communicating. That's what I think. Maybe I'm off.
Hmm. Interesting take. I saw this, and again, the blue signage. Again, you see the blue, and it's interesting because that the marketplace is called Point Comfort. What in the world, or why in the world is it blue, and what is Point Comfort? Well, if you Google Point Comfort, it was the port and the place where slavery begun 400 years ago. So that was where the slaves first landed.
Hmm.
I was
Okay,
like,
Courtney.
so we
Chop, you cooking, ain't you?
sorry. So this dynamic of racism in this movie, it was all throughout. And a lot of people, I've seen a lot of right wingers like Jason Whitlock and there's some others that was like, no, this movie is just so racist. And because of what Ruth said, you can't trust white people. And because the Julia Roberts had a problem not thinking that the house belonged to the black man, like,
Yep.
but it's the subtleness and also stuff. So it was supposed to have a racial dynamic. This was the movie was created for. And so sometimes I get sick of always hearing, oh, it's a woke movie. Who wants to listen to another woke movie? Well, but it's some history and stuff that, like I said, little eggs that was in here. So that place where she was, and again, where the slaves first came, Point Comfort, that was subtle, but it was in the movie.
Yeah. Well, to add to that, there's probably some definitely pieces in there that's probably true of what you're saying. There is I was just Googling this. There is a Point Comfort campground in New York. I don't know if that's what that is. I don't know. Again, that could be a part of it, but there's some type of campground in New York called Point Comfort. So I don't know if it's in that same area.
But
The ship.
Could be.
Go ahead.
Were you gonna say something about ship? Hold on, before you do, because I know where you're going with it.
Yeah.
So when they was driving, right, and he was playing the radio when they was going to the beach, that was
1619
on again. It's blue, but that
Project.
1916 was very prevalent in this movie as well too. Well, you know what
1619 project.
1916 is.
1619 project. Yeah.
1619. Well, that's where on that port, which she had, where the first slave went,
Okay.
it was in that year of 1619.
Yep.
You got a good
Like
eye,
I said,
Courtney.
this movie was throwing stuff at you, and you like
Yeah.
gotta catch it, but it was what it was meant for. Why do you
Gotcha.
think that this? Why are these things in this
Yeah.
movie?
Yeah.
What
Yeah.
is the purpose?
Is it a warning sign to Black America saying that, hey, we need to wake up on the things that's coming, a la
Mm,
cyber attacks, right? We're
mhm.
not prepared. We're distracted. We're all over the place, right? And I'm gonna let you have the ship because I already know you're going with that, Courtney. So I'm gonna let you have the ship, but because I know what the meaning of the ship too is. But again, it's almost like a warning, like, hey, Black America, what even Ruth said, not trusting white people. It's almost like a not all Black people, but a lot of Black people have that distinct, like, hey, we
Mhm.
don't trust you. It's we don't trust you, right? Especially in a time of chaos, right?
Yeah.
We
Yep.
don't know what's going to happen. So when I look and I look at little Easter eggs in this movie, it's almost telling me like, hey, Black people, if you're prepared, good. If you're not prepared, we're giving you the signs to saying, hey, this is what happened. This is where we're at. This is where you need to get to.
Yeah. Okay. Well, talk about the ship.
Ah, the White Lion. So, and correct me if I'm wrong, Courtney, I believe the White Lion was one of the first slave ships that was on that particular port that you mentioned.
Mm-hmm.
And I had, like you said, I had to look it up in Google. I'm like, White Lion. You don't put White Lion just on anything random in movies.
Facts.
You have in any movie, you see anything that you see is something. So I Googled, I said, White Lion, and then boom. So yes, I believe it's the first one of the first slave ships to land in
That
that particular port.
ported in that area, and
Mhm.
the year was
16,
1619.
19.
Okay. Wow. Cooking.
Y'all got
No.
I,
y'all got a good
I
eye.
smell the
I didn't see
stew in the
that at
kitchen,
all.
y'all. Y'all cooking. I should have seen this movie again. I've seen it once. I should have seen
I
this
had
3
to
times.
watch it. Yeah, and so once you're gonna learn that there's some, and I was like, okay, so
Yeah.
what am I? I'm starting to look for stuff
Right.
because the movie had deeper meaning that I think a lot of people are not giving reference to,
Gotcha.
and because they are putting all these little stuff in it, and you gotta watch it and see like what is going on. But I do think it is a reason.
Yeah.
What do you think the reason is, and why would the Obamas want to produce such a movie that has these things all wrapped up in it?
I got two reasons.
All
They're
right.
conflicting. One reason is that I think the Obamas wanted to let America know that what's happening in the movie is happening right now. That's my
Mm,
first. There's another conflicting reason. I think that he wanted to make up for actually during his presidency ushering in these things that are happening, because all these things came in during his presidency. All this woke stuff came in '08.
mm,
So it's too conflicting. I don't know which one it is, but I don't know. I'm
okay.
straddling the fence on this one.
Okay. Blow, Jock, any thoughts on why the Obamas, out of all the movies in the world, would produce a movie such as this?
Yeah. Uh I'm not sure. I have to look at, I know this was a book that was written prior to, right? But that's just the
Right.
storyline. But the all the inner things that's within the movie, that's not in the book. The white line, I'm sure that's not in the book,
Right.
right? So we're gonna
Right.
throw some things in there, right? And a lot of times what we might see on TV ain't real anyway. What I mean is politics and all that stuff, right? So I
Mm-hmm.
I don't have a definitive answer. Um,
Mm-hmm.
I think if anything, maybe he's just trying to maybe just throw a warning out there, like, folks, hey man, for what you know and what you see and what you think. And there's more racism out here than what you might know. That's more systematic than just saying your face. And so,
Yeah.
those things are working against you when you think of, different companies that have, pictures and things that, that go towards, say, the devil and things of that nature, right? So a lot of things that we do and that we use, this it's not to uplift God, it's to uplift other things. And so I think maybe if anything, that could be a narrative that could be pushed in this movie. You know what I'm saying? When you tie in Obama into that, you know what I'm saying? Because even look at the Mexican lady that was on the road. So she really wanted to go. She couldn't speak, right? The way
Mm-hmm.
she could speak, she
Mm-hmm.
couldn't speak English. And
English,
he
right.
was like, "Hey, I'm gonna holler at you." He chunked dudes, and he
Yeah.
felt bad about it.
He
Yeah,
did. That
he
was
felt
pretty
bad about
bad.
it when he got back. He was kind of like,
Yeah.
"Damn, I left the Mexican lady out there by herself, and she's
Mhm.
probably dead." It's probably what he's thinking. But
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I think something
S-
like that.
Okay.
So I was getting to it earlier about the Obamas, and I believe he mentioned, I don't know if it's in the book or it was in the featurette, where somebody mentioned that some of these things that he has seen in his presidency, right, with these attacks and these cyber attacks. Again, he can't tell everything that he's seen or he knows or whatnot, being the president at that particular time.
Mm-hmm.
But when you throw out something like that, Clue, I'm gonna give you credit for this. When you say he's making up for the years when he got ushered in '08, because you are correct. In '08, it was a before that it was a kind of chill time, right? We didn't have all
Mm-hmm.
this chaos, we didn't have all this craziness.
Yep.
Everything was kind of level. It was a unique period. But then when '08 happened, it's like all of a sudden all the racist folks kind of just opened the door, and just the Trayvon Martin thing happened. Police brutality, it's being filmed a lot more than what it was, right? But prior to that,
Mm-hmm.
we got Rodney King, yeah, but all of a
Yeah.
sudden you see this, that, and the third. So when I look at the Obamas, it's almost like they're trying to say, "Hey, Black America, we couldn't do nothing really. We kind of did something for you, your group and our group when you was in office, but I didn't get to really be myself like I want to." He can't come out and say, "Hey, Black America, I need to do this. Hey, Black America, you need to do that," because it would have got shot down every time, him being the president. So when you hear that, and like Dark Man kind is cooking the cabal, right? Who is the
Mm-hmm.
cabal? Who is that, right? Are we
Yep.
talking about the elites, the Illuminati, right? When
Yep.
we hear this, what is happening? So when I see this, I feel like, Clue, like I said, I'm gonna give you credit. I'm gonna add to that. I just feel like they're trying to tell a story by doing it in a way where right now we're in a time of predictive programming anyway, right? So
Yeah.
Yep.
why not throw it out there and say, "Hey,
Right.
we're gonna throw our real fishing rod out there, and y'all just check it out and see what you got." So yeah.
Yep. Yep.
Okay. Look, I want to read this right here because this was something else that I saw as well too. Clay drove by a saw called Tanny Farm that relates to Robert Tanny, who ruled in the Dred Scott case that
Wow.
Black people were not citizens, which is absolutely correct. So the town was called Tanny Farms, and Tanny was again Roger, who said that the idea of we're less than we're what the 3/5 of a human being, and they were in Tanning Farm. So again, all of this, but the subliminals is specifically towards slavery and racism and how we were treated. I just
Wow.
thought that was just interesting. I don't know. You had
That
something,
is.
Clue?
Oh, no, no, no. Have y'all heard of a film called Mr. Robot?
Yeah, that's the guy that was one of the directors of this movie, was he?
Yeah,
Yeah.
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 because I saw another commentary YouTube stream that kind of connected the two movies. So
Mm. Okay.
they
Yeah.
said there's a lot of things interlaced together in both movies.
Yeah. I got you. Look at this clock. Isn't that an interesting clock?
Very.
Yeah, it is.
Why the clock got a sad face on it? Could it mean that we're
I
running
didn't
out
even
of
notice
time?
that.
I didn't notice
I
that.
didn't even
Chris,
notice
I
that.
need to watch this
Y'all
movie
notice that?
again. Courtney, you sitting there watching the
Courtney
movie.
got a
hitting
good
pause.
eye, man.
She watching with a clip. Pause.
wow,
Snap.
great job,
Pause.
Court.
Snap. Pause. Snap.
Courtney doing forensics on the movie.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes.
Could it
Yes.
be that Black people, we running out of time?
Yeah.
They're running out of time, baby.
Mhm.
remember seeing this. So one of the things that I thought was interesting in the movie is that the reason why I don't think she thought that it was it GH's house, because there was nothing that represented him being a black man. And the only thing that represented culture had it locked down in a room away from people.
Right. There was nothing in the there was no pictures of
Right.
his wife or his daughter there or him. None.
None. That's right.
You know, I think she was kind of racist, but low key, I was like,
I don't think she was racist at all.
I don't want a man coming in late night. I don't care if he's with a woman or whatever while I'm here with my children. So her concerns was valid.
It was valid.
It was more prejudice than racist.
I don't think she was racist at all.
You don't think she was racist at all?
She looked at him as somebody that she doesn't know. You remember, she wanted to get away from people. That's the beginning of the movie. I want to get away from people. And here comes people knocking on my door asking me to accept them. So she's asking a lot of questions. She's a tech. Remember, she's a tech. She's IT. She's asking questions like, okay, well, he says he owns the house. He sent me a couple of emails, but I don't see him or his daughter's pictures anywhere in his house.
Yeah.
Is he who he say he is? Not. I don't think she was tripping because he was black. She was tripping because she didn't know who the hell he was.
All right, part two.
That's an interesting perspective. I never thought of it like that. That's a good. That's a good perspective.
Oh, Rose with the NASA shirt, and then I thought it was interesting that his shirt was Obey.
I seen that shirt too. I
didn't see that, man. Y'all be seeing shit I don't see.
Yeah, look, it's funny if you put them together. Obey NASA.
Y'all be seeing stuff I don't see.
But the idea is the shirt is Obey. You go have to listen, get in line.
That's right.
And you're going to do what I tell you to do.
That's right. That's right.
Do you believe that there is someone in power that is acting as if we're puppets and there's a puppeteer? And I think someone said that the truth is that no one is in control.
GH said that no one's in control.
Yeah.
Which one do you believe?
I think it's a list of directives.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to side with GH on this one. I don't think anybody's in power. I think it's a list of directives, and the people who have the most power at the time obey those directives. I don't think there's no puppet. There's no puppeteer. It's just a list of directives. That's what I think.
So,
okay. Was the Obamas the president? Were they not puppeteers since he couldn't do what he maybe wanted to do or couldn't say what he couldn't say? There had to be a reason why. Someone had to have control over him. Would he not be a puppet then?
I think the control is the list. Let's look at Antifa. Antifa, there's no CEO, there's no founder, there's none of that. Antifa is just a list of directives. You do this, you do this, you do this, and then you do this. If you do all these things, you're considered part of our group. And I think on a bigger scale, that is what's going on with the elites. Just an opinion. It's just a list of directives.
Jacques, you had something to say?
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry, Cleo. I'm sorry. Go. I didn't mean to cut you off.
Sorry. Do I think it's anybody in control of the top? Trump debunked a lot of stuff where you, as the president, you can kind of do what you want to do when you want to do it, how you want to do it, right? But of course, we know he's in control from the top, from a world perspective, probably. But in America, we're so chaotic, we're so divided, we're so all over the place. Flu said, and like they said in the movie, we can let everybody just destroy themselves, right? You implode from within, you good, right? We've done our job. We've put that out there. We put the face on to make it where, hey, I think there's I think it's called Project Bluebeam. I think it's Project Bluebeam. I got to go back and research, but it's some type of form of control where you say, hey, we're going to create an illusion of leadership. We're going to create an illusion that it is controlled out here, right? Like you said, Phil, we
Mm-hmm.
say, hey, you follow this, you follow that religion, you follow this race, you do that, you do this, you do that. And we're so hardwired as human beings to have hope in something. We got to believe in something, right? That's race,
Yep.
religion, anything, right? So when we have that full-fledged belief, we're like, okay, hey, we believe in that. We believe there's a leader somewhere, but we gonna keep pushing to do it. But once chaos hits the fan, especially in the United States, we're so divided. Hey, it's easy to take us down. Now you go to
There you
China,
go.
you go to North Korea,
There
you
you go.
can't do that because the country is so unified.
Mm-hmm.
I'm curious to see if they got affected because if they didn't get affected, it makes sense. This only works on chaotic countries. This only works on chaotic things.
Yep.
Hmm.
Facts.
I see you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Remember the three? I don't remember them verbatim, but at the end of the movie, GH said there were three directives in order to take over a country
Mm-hmm.
without spending a lot of money.
Mm-hmm. What were they?
I don't know them specifically, but I think the first one was get
To kill
them
the grid. I think it was the grid or something
kill
about
the grid.
technology,
Yeah,
something like
kill the
that.
grid, and then you divide the people among two sides. Divide them on two sides, and then I think he then
Isolate.
explained the noise,
Yep.
Well, we're
confuse them
gonna
with the
talk about that.
noise, and that because that's what got that is what got Kevin Bacon's character to point the gun at his friend Ali's character. I forgot his name.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Let me look up his
GH.
GH.
Yep.
GH, yeah.
Yep. Yep.
Okay.
So
Let.
that makes you think your neighbor is your enemy. You
Mm-hmm.
create a noise to make you think your neighbor is your enemy, even though you don't. Even though y'all been friends up until this point, he's your possible enemy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me get to this super chat, and then I want to talk about part three is the noise. Ill Magic, I appreciate you so much. And he says this world is like a Hollywood stage of a play. There's a script, agenda that's been written. You have the directors, and then you have the producers.
He's correct.
Yep.
I,
Ill Magic.
Sadly,
Boom.
he's correct.
That's right.
yeah, facts.
Yep.
That noise. What was that noise? What could that
Well,
noise
well,
have represented? And was it that noise or that bug bite that had a boy lose his teeth?
no, the
Yeah, I
noise
know.
made him lose his teeth. The
It,
noise, that's what GH was talking about.
Hmm.
The noise, I think technically explained that there was some kind of a radiation
Hmm.
that was
Yeah.
attached to sound waves
Hmm. Yep.
mm-hmm.
that
Like
makes all this
microwave.
happen. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. He
So was it the
mentioned.
bug bite?
The bug
No.
bite didn't do anything, in my opinion. I think it was the
Okay.
noise.
He got his leg bit the hell up on that.
Yep.
Yeah, it could
Yep.
be. Yeah, I mean, he bit all through
Because,
to his bone
So
almost.
because remember the first noise, he didn't cover his
yeah,
ears on the
years.
first noise. So he got hit with the noise harder than anybody else in the movie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's right. You're right.
Yeah.
Didn't Kevin Bacon's character mention that the noise also they experimented with it first in Cuba? I think it was either Cuba or Puerto Rico. It was
Yeah,
in a
he said
Spanish
it was a
country.
microwave.
Yes,
Microwave,
the,
yeah.
the
Right.
microwave sounds, and they said people were losing their teeth after it happened. So it's
Right.
Mm-hmm.
almost like whoever was doing the attack had did a basically a QA, a run through of, hey, let's see how it works here, and then so Kevin
Yeah.
Bacon, that's how he explained it in the movie. He said if you hear about the teeth thing, it was come they did an experiment like that in Cuba, and people were losing
Mm-hmm.
their teeth, so he suspected that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, see, but then the noise. I'm thinking the noise comes from. I don't know if it better be planes. That's what I thought initially. Maybe
Mm-hmm.
certain maybe airplanes that might be in the air that I don't know. I think it was more
Or,
aerial, but I might be
or
wrong. But that's what I was
I
thinking
think
as far as the noise.
I, I have a theory. If they've hacked into the satellites, I can put some code in there to literally manipulate the sounds if I can ping cell towers or ping anything, right? So if I can hack into that and I got access to all aerial points of satellites, I can point them to different directions and say, hey, let's manipulate this sound and let's throw it into a tornado siren, or let's throw it into a anything that can emit sound. And you
That
got
makes sense.
microwaves at the
That
house,
Mhm.
makes
right?
sense. Yep. That makes sense. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you saw when he was driving in that plane. Well, first when I saw the plane, it didn't look like it was dropping letters. It looked like it was spraying something red. Like
Yep.
it was like I thought it was something.
Fertilizer or some poison or something.
Yeah, I didn't look like which, and it still could be. I don't know. I'm not really convinced. But then we saw the flyers and the red flyers, and then of course the sun was like, what did the flyer mean at the beginning? Death to
Dead to
America.
America.
Death to America.
Yep.
Yep.
Well, y'all know the internet be interneting up, and so they they try to figure out on the back what it meant, and I think I found it. So let's read it. What
Oh, she got the receipts, y'all.
mean? We ask you to pay immediate attention to what we say in this publication. We have the most dangerous and destructive explosive in history, and we leave this horrific fact for you to contemplate and stress the validity of what is said. I'm using this on your land, and steps must be taken to stop the resistance built for peaceful surrender of your land.
But Danny, played by Kevin Bacon, said all that was misinformation.
So let's talk about that, because again, I feel like some of these people are lying to us. How? Because he said that, well, I got somebody on the West Coast that said that the Koreans or the Japanese is always are doing it. How in the world does he know when there's no satellite, there's no TV, there's no internet, there's no phone? How he know what's going on the West Coast?
That's a good question, because I thought when I saw that scene, I thought he was speaking about, he knew that in the past he was speaking retroactively in the past. He said that
But
he
if
got that
something like that
message
has happened in
recently.
the past, yeah. And if something happened like that in the past, of course, when he referenced the microwave thing in Cuba, right? So that's a reference.
I think
This
Kev.
would
I
have been
think Kev
referenced.
may be the villain.
I think I got a theory.
I think
Okay.
Kev may be the villain.
So okay. So if he's a doomsday prepper, right? He's been prepping. You can tell he's been prepping. He was prepping before when Julia Roberts seen him. My theory is with these doomsday preppers, they're smart people where they know technology, you can shut it down. We need something old school, right? We need Morse code. We need something that does not connected to the grid. We need something off the
Ham
grid.
radio. Yep.
Exactly. So if I have something where I'm like, okay, I have a theory, or I'm a doomsday, or I'm a conspiracy theorist. My first instinct is like, I need to get everything off the grid, and I need to go back literally the old school way, and I need to find like-minded people that can relate information back and forth. So if you're in region A, I need to holler at you while I'm in region B to relate information back and forth. So that's that when I peeped that too, but I said, you know what? What if he's getting information in a different way versus how we are so tied up in this and getting
makes a lot of sense.
information the different way? So
Right.
Makes a lot of sense, man.
Yeah.
I initially thought he was being prejudiced. He was just going off just some old school stories and just making up an assumption.
Yeah.
Just how people just how black people do, and when it could be wrong as hell from what he was saying. That's what I initially thought, because I didn't think he had any merit on what he was saying, because he just said, well, he was just really speaking. He really didn't have any facts behind it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I thought he was just making a general judgment as to who it was.
Yeah.
But
And I can kind of
know.
see that too, because with the racist people, they think everybody Chinese or
Right,
they
exactly.
We're Chinese, like
he was going all over the place. He went from the Philippines to China, everywhere. Like, and he didn't really make a one statement like, okay, this is them. He was just, well, I think it's them, and I didn't really feel like he was being concise on what he was saying.
Notice what he said too. He said the United States has a lot of enemies. We made a lot of enemies over the years. If you've seen a movie Red Dawn, if you've seen that movie,
Yep.
that movie is very telling, because in Red Dawn, countries came together and they did something.
That's a good question.
You said what?
Look at this question. This is a great question.
Good question right
What's
there.
going on with the music selection?
You know,
Like,
I
that
said the
threw
same
me
thing.
off completely.
Amanda likes hip hop or something.
Yeah,
hip
it
hop
threw me off
fan.
too.
But she put in, okay, the first song that she played, right,
Yeah,
was
yeah.
Blackstreet.
Bro.
Yep.
Never gonna let you
Yeah.
go away.
I was like,
She
damn,
likes
yeah.
R&B.
What
Hey,
they got to do with anything?
It threw me
She
off.
likes what she likes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it threw me off too.
Yep. Because
She
she
don't
said,
know
she's
nothing
like,
about
I'm starting to like you, GH. She said she hit on him. GH was in his mode. He was just chilling. And she's like, you know what? I'm kind of liking you. And GH was like, oh, really? And then he was okay. And then she threw that on. He was like, hey, okay,
That's
she's
it.
really vibing with me for real. If GH would have made a move or two,
GH was
close.
worried about his wife. Come on,
of
y'all.
course.
Yeah,
Of
but it was
course.
Didn't
close.
know if
That's
his
why he
wife
didn't do
was
that.
alive or not.
Right, of course.
Yeah,
But
but
she
he
was
was on
with
the
it.
drink.
Yeah, but she was at least, I don't know, she was with it. It seemed as if
Well, I mean, and he understood that too, because he was like, "Oh, wait a minute, we're drunk, right? We're drunk. We're married. We got
Yep.
like he had to get himself together. It wasn't like he was
That's
like,
right.
"Go, bitch." No, he didn't do that.
Yep. That's right. Yep. Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so then they were able to see through all the chaos, of course, and the
Oh God.
scale of New York blowing up.
Yep.
Man,
Wow.
as
Yeah.
if this. I just think the story is, I think someone put it in the chat, was like, was it predictive programming? There is no reason why this could not happen tomorrow.
Right.
Are you prepared?
Hell
what no, we're not.
No, we're not.
We're not.
Absolutely
We're
not.
At all.
We're dependent on this.
Yep.
We're all
Yeah, I
dependent
know.
on this.
That's right.
Yeah.
What was scary on that before that scene was there? Oh shit.
What's wrong?
Okay, my laptop. Okay, I'm good. Sorry.
Oh, you're fine.
So Courtney and Jacques, y'all know I drive a Tesla, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
And I'm like, whoa.
Courtney, drop him. Drop him.
Yeah, man. I was like, whoa. You know what I'm saying? But yeah,
So-
but I meant to say that earlier. But yeah, that the New York City thing, we're not prepared, man. We're not prepared.
We'll talk about the Tesla, because I
I
think
want
that's
to talk about the
important.
Tesla scene too.
Yeah. So the Tesla, of course, you have a feature as a self-driving feature. I don't have that. I don't want that,
Mhm.
right? I don't want that. But that could still happen without it being there, because it is
Yep.
controlled by satellite. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, right?
Yep.
So, that's scary. It is, because it's like, damn, that could be me. My car could just be like, you know what, today, nah, I got control of it today, sir. And it can
Mhm.
go,
Yeah.
and there's nothing I can do about it. You know what I mean? So I thought that was interesting too, about the Tesla thing or whatever.
I think that and that's what confused me about why the Obamas funded this, because I think the reason why they want everybody in an electric car is so they can shut the car down or control the car at any time. Remember, 2020, that was just a dress rehearsal. The real thing is happening in the future. So if everybody's in electric cars like those white Teslas, we can shut them down, drive them to a place that we need them to be at any time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Aren't
That
they
was the
implement?
scariest scene to me. The Tesla scene was the scariest to me.
That was, because that can't happen, and it's like they
Okay.
maybe want to. The idea of we're in the metaverse. It's we wanting technology to have complete control over you. So your
Gotta
bank
fight back.
is online, everything is online, and now it's our cars. We don't have to do anything. I don't have to go grocery shopping anymore. I don't have to shop for anything. I don't have to go to pay bills. I don't have to do anything. So now I don't even have to physically drive.
So,
But
Courtney, when a white Tesla pulls up behind you, do you get triggered?
PTSD.
Is he gonna stop?
I know, right?
Yeah,
It's
that's kind of
317 point. Why were they all white? That I didn't understand.
chaos.
A white Tesla is no different than any other Tesla.
Maybe chaos. Maybe telling you that how the white society has been so chaotic over the years, that this is part of the chaos, right? And this is part of the punishment of them being so chaotic since the damn beginning of time, right?
Yep.
Also, want to add Rico 5377 was. I was getting to that point.
Mhm.
They want kill switches in every car by 2026. Okay, there's a
Yeah.
bill that they're trying to
Yeah.
put in.
That's a good point.
I think they're trying to pass it through Congress, like you said, to
Yep.
go along with what you were saying, Cool, where they want everybody in an electrical vehicle by, I think Biden said 2027 maybe, and then you're adding the kill switch at the same time. What if
Don't
I
do
still
it.
want to? And I know, Hawk, you got the Tesla. And you've had a lot of positive things to say about the Tesla,
Mhm.
but that's my biggest fear. That's why when I talked to Hawk about it, I was like, Hawk, you got a Tesla, bro. That kind of deters me from kind of wanting an electrical vehicle because of that, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
And they
Yeah.
had a recall on it too, didn't they, Hawk? Or
It was a
some software update?
It was a software update.
Okay,
Yeah. Yeah, they
Mhm.
did. They did.
they scared
Yeah,
me
this
now,
movie
bro.
might have hurt Tesla's stock, by the way.
I
Because
mean, low key.
Yeah,
low
that's a
key, low
good
key.
point. That
It
is a
is.
good. That's a
Yeah.
very good
Buy
point.
stock now
Yeah.
if you got it. Buy or you trying to get
Yeah.
it. Buy now.
Did it different?
Mhm. Yeah, that's true.
Man.
All right. So the last one, part 5, the ending. I thought this was interesting towards the end. So when Rose went to the bunker, did y'all notice again the colors, the red
Nope.
door, but inside you see the blue calming, safe curtains, right? But the name on it is Thorns. Is it Thorns? Yeah.
Yep.
I just thought it was interesting because how Rose was safe in a house of thorns.
Ooh,
And if you
Wow.
think of
Cooking.
roses,
You
Nothing
cooking?
gets past Courtney.
cooking.
you know, you think of a rose and what makes a rose safe,
Oh
it
my
is the
God! I did
thorn.
not see that at all. Y'all see that?
No,
I didn't notice that. Great
Didn't
catch,
notice
Courtney.
that at
Didn't
all.
I
see
did
that
not
at
notice.
all.
Damn, that's a
So
great
she
catch.
was protected in a house of thorns. And I just thought that was kind of poetic.
Yeah.
Wow. That I think that's foreshadowing for that house ain't as safe as you think it is.
I thought
Something's
she.
up with that house.
Hmm.
So if there's a part 2 or a sequel, that house will be the feature villain.
Well, I want to talk about this house because again, with the different color, with red is always like when the things were falling out of the airplane, right? The warnings was red. The inside of the walls, the door is red. The inside of this is red, and so it's just the color schemes that I'm seeing throughout. As you see how red, but then when she goes into the bunker, it turns bluish. And so the
Like
bunker has kind of a blue undertone to it. How is she the only one that is in this bunker? Where is that guy Kevin Bacon played? How come he's not in the bunker? Didn't he know about it?
Yeah, he told GH about it, but I think whoever owned the Thorns, I think they're
Mm-hmm.
one of the elites.
Mm.
They're one of the people that know beforehand. Remember, GH was talking to Amanda and saying, "Well, there's nobody in charge, but the best you can hope is a heads up." I think that the Thorns had a heads up, and they got the hell up out of there.
Yeah.
I think the
Yeah.
whole neighborhood is in on it because how
The
did you
whole
get
neighborhood.
satellite
Wow,
right
wow.
from the house he went to where the plane crashed? He
Yep.
said my neighbor got a satellite phone. Now, what everyday person has a
Facts.
satellite phone?
That's
Right?
right. That's right.
I'm literally thinking now. I'm like, hold up. Kevin Bacon's character knows
Yep.
he got his own bunker. GH,
Well,
you
right.
know,
And that's why I
Thorn,
put up that will. Kevin Baker got a bunker. This other house, the Thorns got a bunker. Everybody got a bunker. That's not
Yep.
normal.
That's not. He had a big grocery run too. Got all that water and everything.
Right
He
before
did.
it happened.
We
Right
went to
before it
Sam's
happened.
Club. We was in Costco and went at it. Like, what's wrong
He
with
went
dude?
ham.
Most
I want all the water.
Yeah, all the water.
most preppers don't know when it's going to happen. They just know
That's right.
it's going to happen.
It's
They don't
gonna
know
happen.
when. Kevin
Uh-huh.
knew it was going to happen. When
He
it was
did.
going to happen.
He did.
Huh.
So the bunker, right? And y'all saw all the food. And I think maybe Jock include, maybe we should Jock.
Aunt Jemima.
Right.
Yeah.
So I saw that
Uncle Bean.
online, and you're right. So all the food in the bunker is all food that's been recalled due to racist stuff.
I didn't see that either.
I didn't either.
Yep. Uncle Ben,
Ancient
Cream
Man
of
was
Wheat.
I
in
must be
there.
a blind man. I didn't see any of it.
Cream of Wheat Man. You have there's one that was like Dixie, and they changed the name because they didn't want Dixie to represent them because of the Southern Confederate or whatever. But all the stuff that was in there is because it had a racial undertone, and that's all the food that they had in the bunker.
I think, and this is including the records and the DVDs. I think the stuff that was in the bunker was supposed to preserve history in case everything goes away.
Yeah.
This is what happened before it went away. These are the things.
But Ancient Mammy?
Yeah.
I don't know about that. Preserve history. They
Yeah, that's why there was a whole room full of all of the TV shows that ever came out.
And they were all white.
But there were all the TV shows.
All the white ones.
I didn't read all of them, but okay.
They were.
I had my eye. A good eye.
You got that Courtney good eye. Okay. Yeah.
So I thought that was interesting. Another thing that I thought was interesting that I heard, and I looked back and I was like, that's absolutely right. The paintings that changed throughout the scenes of the movie. So at the beginning of the movie, in the first picture, it was not chaotic at all. But as you can see, it changed.
I do
remember the end of the movie.
It did. I noticed that.
Yeah, at the end of the movie, it was
like
a hot, chaotic mess.
Yes.
Yeah.
I noticed that.
That's
what I'm talking about, to the left corner. I noticed that. It looks like the Klan.
It does kind of look like the Klan. I noticed that too.
Yep.
Klan
I noticed that when I saw the movie. I was kind of, is that a Klan? And then you just watch the movie like, nah, that's probably not. Nah, I'm watching it, right?
Yeah.
Now I'm thinking, based on y'all breakdown, that was the Klan. That's Robert E. Lee right there.
But that picture changed throughout the movie. So throughout each of the chapters, and then the last one, that chapter when they're all kind of together and his teeth is all out, it looks chaotic.
Yeah.
There was another picture that they had in the
water,
bedroom.
the picture in the bedroom with the water. I noticed
Right.
that. I noticed that it changed. I did notice that.
I didn't notice that.
Yeah, I thought maybe it was just some like a hologram picture, or just like I don't know, but I did notice that. Yes.
Yeah. And if you remember, one of the chapters was called The Flood. Mm-hmm. And you know what happened in the flood biblically, God flooded
Noah.
because
Noah.
Noah's Ark, because it was a hot mess. And so you see the calmness. The second picture is a little rowdy, but then the water goes over their heads.
Wow.
Yeah.
Right when his teeth came out too.
Right when his teeth came out.
Yeah. I was like, bro, can you stop?
I
thought he had a bug in his mouth.
Got one. Leave the rest alone.
Yeah, that's why I would have been like, all right, boom, I'm done.
You still need to eat right. You still need to eat right. Let's take out one, realize it's a problem, and just move on.
Right.
You gotta take all of them out.
Thank you. Happy holidays. I appreciate the love, you guys. Thank you so much. All right, so check this out, though. This is what I found out. The neighborhood of bunkers, right? Like everybody got a bunker. They can say, well, you know who else is creating one?
Mr. Zuckerberg. Yeah.
In Florida.
That's right.
Right to this day.
Mm-hmm.
He is creating his own survival. As if, this movie is telling y'all. Not only if you see billionaires they're doing what the movie calls. He's not just making this for nothing. And I thought it was funny if you look on the side, for a private project to have a NDA attached to it is very rare. So anyone that gets close to his house or tries to help build it, they have a very strict, stern contract type.
Non-disclosure.
And this is happening right now.
Wow.
And you know what's funny too, because this is in Hawaii, but y'all remember a few months ago with Oprah and The Rock, and all of a sudden now there was like, what was it, a hurricane that came through, and then Oprah started trying to buy up all this kind of land.
They know something.
Follow the money.
Yeah,
follow the money.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mark Zuckerberg. And who created the metaverse?
Mark Zuckerberg.
They think we stupid. Because we know the stuff and we ain't doing nothing about it.
And the normal human being, we can't afford a bunker.
No, not at all.
And then your boy Bill Gates and all that land. What's all that land for?
Yeah.
And he's buying. What is he buying up the farmers' land? Is that what it is?
Yep.
Mine up somehow.
The biggest purchase of land in like 100 years at one time. Come on, what are you doing, bro?
Yeah.
So this is the one more thing that I saw, and then there's a couple questions, and then I'm gonna wrap it up with you guys on our movie review.
I did notice that 76ers cup. I'm like, they're in New York. Why does he have a Philly cup? But okay, go ahead.
Right. Well, if you look at the sixes, it's a 6, and then look at the time of the clock where the arrow is.
6.
It's a 6.
Or 30.
And then it's covered. They covered the clock, but you see the arrows in 6, and this is all in the frame while he's in bed. 666.
666. There's some evil happening.
Yeah.
Mark of the beast.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right.
But the mark of the beast is also representative of end times.
I do have a question though, because I don't really, maybe I missed something, but when I forget names. When Archie, the oldest son, when he was in the back of the car and he needed to go over to Kevin Bacon to get his the teeth problem fixed. He mentioned the name Taylor. Who's Taylor?
He did say that. I have no idea. He did.
Ain't that the girlfriend or something? Because he mentioned her on the beach
he
too.
He did have a girlfriend, Taylor. Okay. He at the beginning of the movie when he was at the beach, she texted him and sent the location. And he asked his mom, "How far is this from us?" If y'all remember that.
Yep.
Oh, okay. That I didn't get that, but thank you.
This
and is that blue pill that's the pill, ain't it? That the pills he took, right? The blue pill.
It was blue. Those pills were blue.
Damn,
pills were blue.
Those pills were blue.
That's a hell of an antidote to whatever he had. I guess it stopped him from wanting to pull his teeth out.
Jeez.
What is
what
Kevin Bacon had
that? Yeah, and Kevin Bacon had it.
Yep,
he had it.
Yep.
I think Kevin is sinister. Kevin ain't telling us everything he's up to.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, he ain't gonna help y'all Negroes. That's what he's not gonna do. Okay,
that's right.
For $1,000, he will. For $1,000,
$1,000.
Yep. Somebody said Dark Mankind said Viagra. That's hilarious. Man.
This was on when she was in the bunker. I saw this too. And this is with Rose. Rose was in there just having a good time eating all the food, watching Friends.
Just getting fat.
Yeah.
But this came up, and again, them 6s is in there. But doesn't that the 01, is that supposed to be a 3? Don't that spell out something to y'all?
It looks like it's upside down.
It's upside down, yeah.
It looks upside down, but it can still mean the 666. But it's upside down.
Well, well, it's turned. But then look at don't it spell out die?
Yeah.
How do you be finding this, Courtney?
Yeah, I can see that.
You don't keep throwing the onions.
Kind of scared of Courtney right now.
And the paprika, and you just throwing everything.
She might know something about me that I don't know.
Die. You feel right? It's die.
I mean, I know we come from a family of cookers, but Jesus Christ.
Baby.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, man. R.I.P. to Grandma Ruth. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, shout out to Grandma Ruth.
Shout out. Yes.
Oh, look, Grandma Ruth and a girl named Ruth. Shout out.
Yeah,
Grandma.
that's right. That's right.
Funny.
Right.
All right.
Feisty like Grandma Ruth too. Feisty like her.
The movie Leave the World Behind is definitely a message to what's happening and what's to come. It's very much in line with what we've been saying for years. Stock up on non-perishables and water. Also, the fact that the Obamas are executive producers is making my dog ears go up.
I'm still trying to figure that out.
But she has a point, and I think so.
Is he trying to wake us up, or is he just trying to push the agenda forward?
I saw this comment. The reason there isn't an ending is because we're living it.
There it is. We are. We're in stage 2, by the way. Remember the
Stage
3
two.
stages the GH talked about? We're in stage 2 right now.
Yeah.
Oh, did y'all hear about? I think it's China that is put out a warning of a cyber attack that they're trying to plan. They're not giving dates. They're not giving none of that. But cyber attacks, they are telling us, right? You think about the weather balloon that flew over.
I was about to say that the what
Yep.
that flew over. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
And so that's a test run, right? What? Why? Anytime United States see anything, they blow it out the sky. But that particular time, you let it get that far,
Yeah.
makes no
Mm-hmm.
sense, right? So then
Mm-hmm.
you
But then
just come out with a warning.
you got TikTok too.
Yep,
Oh
TikTok.
Which
yeah,
I took off
TikTok
my
is definitely.
phone.
Yep.
I took off my phone when I watched a video about everything, detailing everything TikTok is sending to China from here. I took it off my phone that night
Yeah.
because I'm a IT person too. So
Well. All right, so I'm gonna get some last comments from you guys. This has been good. I'm glad that y'all watched it and y'all got some extra stuff like I did. So I thoroughly enjoyed it. So, Clue, you tell me, what do you rate the movie? Um, and your key takeaway of this movie.
on a scale of 1 to 10, I give it an 8.
An 8.
I give it
Okay.
an 8.
Okay.
The movie is a warning, in my opinion. The movie is a warning. Um, it's a warning to get off of the dependency of technology, get off your phones, you know, because the movie gives the signs that you're going to turn on your neighbor. You're not going to trust your neighbor. They're going to turn on you.
Mm-hmm.
So what the movie told me was you need to be living in the smaller towns, not the bigger cities. Because they're in a smaller town and they're still alive, but New York is blown the hell up.
Blown the hell up.
So get to a smaller town. You need to be around people that know you by name. But it was a
Okay.
good movie. The cinematography, everything you said, make me want to see the movie again
Let's look
because
again.
I didn't
Mm-hmm.
all that symbolism. I didn't see that at all.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I'm slow and old, but I didn't see that.
We all slew it over it. All right. Jock, what you got for me?
So from a scale from 1 to 10, I'm gonna rate it an 8.
Mm-hmm.
From cinematography, from the writing to the acting, you had some heavy hitters when it came to acting in this. I mean, the dialogue was amazing. And my takeaway from the message of the movie, it's like Clue said, man, not just from a perspective of being prepared, but he's also talking to Black America, right?
Mm-hmm.
And telling us to be prepared with all the distractions that we have. Man, you can get a blowout bag on, and what they call blowout bags, it's like a preparation bag. This food stays good for like 10 years on Amazon for
Mm-hmm.
$200, right? I know we can't turn around and go out and get bunkers, but we know we live in the South. Guns are legal, right? You're going to need guns in a time like this, unfortunately,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
And then, like you said, making those building those relationships. Because right now in Nashville, Court, Hawk, Clue, I don't know where you live at, but we know Nashville is a
Atlanta.
growing market. Okay. And so everybody's moving to the city. They kicked everybody out the city. They gentrified the city and they've kicked
Yeah.
all the Black people out, and we've all moved out to the outskirts, right? In the time of turmoil, what they gonna hit first? The city. We're out here, we're
There
safe,
you go.
right? So when I look at a movie like this, it's a message that, and I'll never forget this. My science teacher, Miss Smith, ninth grade, never forget it. She will let us watch movies, and first movie we watched in her class was 2012. She said, "Class, there's
It's a good
always
one.
truth to every movie that you
Mm-hmm.
watch. Don't care
Mm-hmm.
what you see, what you do.
Facts.
There's always some type of truth in there, and pay attention." And when I look at and listen to movies like this, hey, pay attention. Make sure not only, like you said, you training your family up. Like it's something that Black people we don't do. We're not training our family up, kids to
Mm-hmm.
the wife, everybody. Train them up, get them ready. Where's your points when something does happen? Where's the family going to meet? Where we going to go? So when I see a movie like this and how deep it is, it really makes me think. It really makes me get on my stuff and speed everything up because we don't know when the reset's gonna happen, right? It can happen tomorrow. My phones can go out, and all of a sudden, I'm like, damn, we living in the world behind. Oh shit, we here, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, that's my take from the movie. A great movie, greatly written.
It's a good
Again,
movie.
shout out to them. I know a lot of people didn't like the ending, but I look at the ending as not only we live in it, but it's open ended to where you can go in different directions. I can go and write a script and say, hey, what are the people in the city doing at this point in time when the blackout happened, right?
Mhm.
And then I can come back. So shout out to them, man. Shout out to the director, producer, and everybody.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Rose wanted to go back into the Matrix. That's the way I
Right.
look at the ending. Hey,
Mhm.
I found because remember she said that at the end, she gave that analogy that we all know about, God wanting to help the guy and all that, and sent three other people to help, and the guy went
Mhm.
to heaven and all that. She said, I'm leaving. I'm tired. I'm tired of sitting. I'm tired of waiting. God is telling me to get up out of here.
Mhm.
So she went to that house. She found what she needed, and she went right back into the Matrix. I'm gonna look at Friends. I'm gonna look at that finale.
She loves some friends. All
She
right.
loves
Well,
Friends.
what
Make
you
me want
got
to
for
watch.
me?
So the movie was a very good movie.
Mhm.
I did enjoy the movie, and maybe if I see it a second time, I might
Let me
even
see that
enjoy it
second time.
better. Because a lot of times
Yeah.
when you see it the second time, especially now, she didn't woke me up on this course.
Yeah, I
I'm
didn't see
really
none of that stuff.
keen out, like, oh look,
Court,
there it is. Look at that, right? I'm gonna be doing
Courtney
that.
watched a different movie than the rest of us.
Right, exactly, right. I was just watching the movie, just drinking some water, just not
But
really, paying attention to all the
gotta
nuances and,
pay
and things within the
attention.
movie or whatever. You know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna give it a 7 out of 10.
Okay.
Okay, so I did like the movie. I did. And, I think the acting was incredible in the movie. I think everyone played their part very, very well. I think Ethan Hawke did really well because, he
Mhm.
smooth the whole movie. You can just tell. And his whole mood changed at the end of the movie. He became a more like, I like seeing actors who can kind of change modes within a movie. I thought he did a really good job with that. It was well written. It had you on your toes, like wondering, okay, what's next, right? Okay, why is this
Mhm.
happening? I like the suspense of that. Jacques, to your point, I only give it I kind of knock it down just a little bit because I think they're doing this on purpose. They're putting the bait like the fish, like putting bait on the bait, because I do think that there should probably be a part two. So I feel the
It
movie
better
didn't
be a
end.
part two.
Mhm.
Right. It didn't end. So, so if it's part two, then cool. But if that's it, then it's kind of like, well, it kind of keeps the conversation open. But I'm gonna tell you what I liked about the movie though. I think, man, more than anything, it teaches us that we do really put a lot of emphasis on our life with technology. And you see a black family and a white family that ended up being together and made it happen, right? So I
Mhm.
think it's a movie to try to join, saying like, maybe all races together because we need each other at the end of the day, right? When technology and all that's there, you just have the human race, right? And though, so what you gonna do with that, right? So I think that's a part of it because you think about planes crashing, the boats, the Teslas, and all that stuff. It's like, dude, we ain't got nothing out here. We can't do anything, right? And
Mhm.
so it's like, well, for us to survive, we need each other, right? We need each other, and I think that's the message there. I think early when they came back to the house, and I'm speaking on GH and Ruth, I understood Amanda and Clay kind of like, who are these jokers, right? But at the end of the movie, they were damn near best friends. I mean, they was almost
Yeah.
screwing each other at the end of the movie. So so it's kind of like, so they got together, and I think that's the part that I like. I still want to know why Friends was such an important part of this movie.
Well,
Yes.
We have to
Ruth
talk to some
said it.
Friends fans to get that answer. Because
Well,
I don't
Ruth.
watch.
And I want to know what the Spanish lady was saying too. It's just some
Yes.
other parts like,
Yes.
what is she saying? I don't know, but yeah, but the Friends part was interesting. That's the part I just didn't understand.
Yeah, I think with the friends, what Ruth said when she saw that what Rose was watching Ruth, she was like, "Well, it's like nostalgia, where it makes you feel really good and not a care in the world, but that's a life that is not real."
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
it's as
I got
if,
that
and
too.
then at the beginning too, the dad was like he was supposed to be helping someone or something about a paper, and that she was doing a paper on media and how media not only can tell you what's going on, but it's also an escape. And so when we binge watch, again, even watching this movie, or we binge watch and watch Netflix and season after season in a weekend, it's escapism.
Yeah.
it is,
You
Courtney.
You also
Facts.
have to consider
Yeah.
Rose probably wasn't alive when Friends aired.
Right.
Well,
She wasn't.
no, she wasn't at
She
all.
was not.
And she definitely was not.
Yeah.
But that's what I kind of took from it is, because we get involved. If you think about when I used to watch Ghost and Power Book, I used to get on my nerves. Like it was more than just a show. And for a lot of people, these shows, we use it to escape, to get out of the real world, and we become very intertwined with characters that's not real.
Right.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's right. Because Rose is like, I really care about them.
Yeah.
Yep.
She did. Yep.
She called.
Yeah.
She called. What she called? Court. What was her name? Awesome. What's the character's name in Friends? Courtney.
Oh,
Awesome Rachel. Awesome Rachel.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome Rachel.
Yeah, but
Like they
that's what we
buddies.
do. But that's
Yeah,
what
that
we
is
do.
true.
That's what we do
It
to our entertainers.
We
We
do.
idolize them and we create a fantasy world of them, which is not true. And again, that's what I think a lot of this entertainment is meant for. When you're gaming, you're entering into a world that's not true, but you get so involved. People get on there cussing everybody out, ready to fight over something that's not real.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Courtney, what do you think? What do you think about my? Why don't we all go back to flip phones?
All right, am I going
Use your smartphone for work.
Am I doing all
only.
that? Go on somewhere.
No.
What?
Wait. Don't drop me yet. Don't drop me yet. Because before smartphones, you could only access the internet at home, work, and Starbucks. When we started being able to have the internet in our hands, that's when society went down. That's my opinion.
Yeah.
Okay.
I
So
think
if we go
that,
back to the smartphone, we can go back to when it was before. I mean,
or how about
you
no
get
phone?
the-
Why don't you just go and get you a pager and use a phone on the side of the street?
I don't think there's a signal that can handle a pager right now. Is there?
True. I
Can a pager work today?
Well, I probably so, but I will give it. I'm giving it an 8. I'm gonna give it an 8.
It's a good movie.
Just because it made me think, and I don't think a lot of entertainment or a lot of movies make you think. And again, you just kind of sit and you're zombie like sometimes with watching some stuff and be like, oh, okay, but this actually does kind of make you think and like, what's going to happen? What's going on? And what would happen if I'm in this situation? And thing is, I like thinking about me being in a situation that could come to fruition. And at this point, there's nothing that I'm prepared or ready for. Being without electricity for 2 weeks is something that I don't even think I'm ready for.
Yeah.
Right. A lot of people aren't.
So anyway, all right. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap it up.
Good
I
show.
appreciate every one of you guys. Thank you so much, and I hope people watch got a little something extra and watch it again.
I'm watching it again now.
You'll be like, okay, look at the blues, look at the reds. The naming of the city, and it's all historically, and it all goes back to when the first slaves arrived here in the Americas.
Okay.
1619.
Yep.
So I'll take 4 hours to watch a 2.5 hour movie. Thanks to you, Courtney. Thanks.
You're gonna be pausing like a mother.
The reason I'll be texting, did you see that on this part?
Yeah, I know. Right.
Why is that cup blue? That cup wasn't blue in the
Look
last
for the
scene.
blues, look
Exactly.
for the reds.
Yep.
All right. Well, I appreciate you guys. I'm gonna go ahead and drop you guys. Thank you so much. I love y'all.
All right.
Love you too.
Appreciate it, Courtney.
All right.
Bye, y'all. Thank you so much, you guys. This movie, I thought it was fun, and I'm so glad that we did this today. A little something different. And sometimes we need to stop talking about everything else and start talking about some stuff. And it's a movie, but I think it's realistic because I don't think any of us is prepared for anything that could happen and probably will happen. So I'm gonna go ahead and go into the dollar store and pick up some canned goods, some ramen noodles or something, some water, because I don't have it. All I got is Kool-Aid. All right, so I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. And Until next time, my people, be a blessing.